Jimin, can you ask Yoongi to come for supper? He's almost locked in his room from the morning. Jin said while arranging some sheets in the file before heading to the dining area. Jimin nods and with lazy step goes to the Yoongi's room. After some minutes, both were at the dining table along with the others. Hoseok winks toward Taeyong, silently asking him about what's wrong with those. Taeyong just shook his head, himself not knowing what's the matter between second oldest and his beginning pair. Yoongi, I needed to discuss something about the track of the new song. So when are you free? Namjoon asked, munching on his food. Anytime, I'm almost free. Yoongi answers, putting some more rice in his plate. Yeah, from practice I remember. Jimin, I think we should show that new dance steps to everyone. It will make choreography more amazing, Hoseok said, chewing his food fast so he could show them their new dance moves. Yoongi, tell us how it is. Hoseok said, standing from the chair and dragging to Jimin with himself. But Jimin's harsh comment made him shake. What will he say, Hyung? It's not like he dances better than us. He himself sucks doing dance steps. Now everyone's eyes in the dining area was digging hole in the Jimin's soul. What? Why are you all looking at me like this? It's not I said anything wrong. Everyone knows it. Jimin was cut off and Yoongi stood up from his chair with no emotion or even anger on his face and went directly to his room upstairs. Jimin felt a little bit guilt, but he didn't let that feeling overcome on what he felt this morning. His disappointment was still seen from the incident in the morning. He continued to eat his food but got stopped when Namjoon and Jin both left their chair in the middle without completing their meal. Jimin felt like to beat himself when he realized what he indirectly said to others. He never thought that they were bad dancers, but still it came out that way in anger. Now Jimin was stealing glances from the rest of the members, thinking that they will also leave or not, but thankfully they didn't. Why did you say that, Jimina? Hoseok asked, giving his heart-shaped smile, but still it was not bright like usual. I didn't mean it, Jimin said, feeling guilty. He really didn't mean to hurt anyone, even his Yoongi Hyung too. We know you didn't mean it, but is there any problem between you two? Is it kind of serious? This time, it was the matinee who asked this question. Jimin just nods in the answer. What? This morning, I was in Yoongi Hyung's studio. He was working on some track. I was so bored, so I went outside. After around 10 minutes, I came back with 2 cups of coffee and put it on his desk. At the same time, some crew member also came to drop some stuff in the studio. And then I accidentally spilled some coffee on the papers, and Yoongi Hyung yelled at me so loudly in front of everyone there. Everyone was silently laughing at him. Hoseok and Taeyong both hugged him from his sides. Don't worry, Jimina, we will scold him. Tae said, laughing a little, but Jimin continued. He asked me sorry, but I just pushed him. I don't like him to be this much controlling to me or any of us. Taeyong's smile dropped a little when he heard what Jimin said. Hoseok shuffled on his seat, but the youngest worried smile eased him a bit. He didn't want to say anything right now. What if Jimin again thought that he is taking side of Yoongi or trying to be controlling? But thanks to Yoongi, he managed the situation. Jimin, it was so bad of you to push Yoongi here. I thought we all know each other better than anyone else. You know, if even he scolds us, it will be for our own good. And maybe he just slashed on you in frustration. We all are acknowledged with his temper, but we know that how much he or any of us love each other. It is not controlling Jimin. Taeyong said, rubbing Jimin's small hand in his own, but Jimin just yanked him. I knew you will take his side. Whose friend are you? Jimin accused the younger one, who just didn't mind his tone. It's obviously you, Jimin, but it doesn't mean I love any of our members less than you. You know you all are so important to me. Taeyong shares his boxy smile, but Jimin just stormed outside the dining area, God knows where. Thanks, GBO, Hoseok said, hugging the little settee, but after getting tickles from both of the sides, he burst in laughter, and pleadings to stop was started to come from Taeyong's mouth. It was already 2 in the night and Yoongi was sleeping like a dead person. Only his little snores was what could convince any person that he is alive. His phone was ringing from last 2 minutes. He jolted in his sleep a little but slept again without checking who was calling him in midnight, but not before cursing whoever it is. After 2 more minutes, he finally sat on his bed searching for his mobile, which was just on the edge of the bed. One kick was enough for a long crack in his mobile screen. He quickly grabbed his mobile before it started to vibrate again and fall out of the bed. Just when he was about to switch off his mobile, Jimmy's number appeared on his screen. Without thinking further, he picked the call. Hello? His breath hissed when he heard an unknown voice on the other side of the device. Who are you and where is the Jimin? Yoongi sounded more harsh and desperate, but he could care less about his manners at that time. So, we are from the Baton Brit bar. Jimin sir is here. He is totally wasted. You were the last dial number on his mobile, so we called you. Yoongi relaxed a little. Okay, thanks, and please take care of him. And if he is not wearing any mask, then please make him wear until I come here. Yoongi hanged on the coal and jumped from his bed and went directly to change his clothes and took his and extra coat for younger in case if he didn't had any. He didn't inform anyone as it was not anything serious. When he was passing through the living room, he saw both Taeyong and Jungkook sleeping on the couch literally. If they moved even a little bit, they both will hit their ash on the floor. Yoongi quickly made a run to his room and came back with a blanket and tucked them both in it and switched the TV off. With that, he dashed outside their room. After half an hour, Yoongi was struggling to shove the drunk Jimin in the car, but the youngest wasted self was not having it. Jimin, I'm telling you one last time, come inside, or I'm leaving you here at the room alone. Both, but his words were not having any effect on the Jimin, who was literally showing his dancing skills in the middle of the road. It's what Yoongi disliked about both of the dancers. They will literally dance anywhere. At this point, Yoongi took a mental note that he is not taking both of them at any serious place. Jimin, come. Yoongi growled, grabbing him from the back and dragging toward the car, but Jimin just skillfully, Yoongi even himself don't know how, escaped from his grip. Yoongi's temper was increasing with every passing second, but his eyes go wide when he saw Jimin again on the road and the truck is just some second far away from him. Yoongi quickly grabbed Jimin before any unfortunate event could take place, but he himself fell on the road while grabbing him, feeling a very harsh pain in his shoulders. Now, Jimin was completely in his senses and rushed to now passed out Yoongi, who has some scratches on his arms and back and a little bit bleeding too. But how he passed out? Jimin quickly grabbed Yoongi's mobile and with some difficulty due to the blurriness, he finally dialed Namjoon's number telling him everything. After 20 more minutes, Yoongi was in hospital with members pacing loudly outside the room. Both soulmates and Hoseok was crying mess. Rest of them hugged them telling that it is not the serious, but they themselves were not sure. But they calmed down when doctor told them that there is not any serious injury and Yoongi just passed out from the pain on his shoulder as it was already hurting from some last chase. He always gets a pain in the beginning of winter seasons. Jimin managed to say, trying so hard not to break down. Others gave him a hug which they knew that they needed. Jimin was thinking that maybe members will blame him for the situation, but no one did. Jimin thought more after that. Are they ignoring him? With that, Jimin cried hard, but the warmth he was getting from the soothing hugs from others made him realize that it is not their anger, just pure love which he misunderstood. Jimin could not be more happy and guilty at the same time when he got to know that he was the first one Yoongi wanted to see after gaining his consciousness. Jimin just jumped on Yoongi after seeing him all right, enjoying his orange juice with music on his mobile. Seriously, this guy made everyone cry and now enjoying in a hospital room. Jimin just punched him lightly and hugged him. Later on, they all burst into laughter after seeing Yoongi again being Mori Beach. When he asked them for what photo shoot they were crying in the early morning.